Yes, what it do? Welcome back to the Wheat Field, y'all. Welcome to you. If you're new, hey, welcome to you too. This is your girl Lottie here at Tears of Wheat Roll Show, where you show enough never know what you're gonna get. Today is Monday, October 21st, beloved, and we are thinking about self-motivation. Get some lip gloss, y'all know what it is. Tears We Troll show where it can start slow like that old school Crisco. We gotta get out the can and into the pan, and the Most High God, the Alpha and Omega, gonna come in and turn the heat up. We gonna get cooking. We already know a little bit of what. Hey sis star, my girl Michelle, Life Mantra Tarot. Check her out if y'all don't know. The girl is hella talented, tapped in, beloved. Messages be so on point that it's scary. I'm just saying. So if y'all ain't on it, check her out. She do free yes and no's and paid donations, readings. So if y'all looking for a free read or some free yes and no questions with a mini read for a donation, check her out, Michelle Fernandez, my sister. Thank you so much for tapping in, beloved. Look, today is Monday and we thinking about motivation. How do you motivate you, beloved? Should you be your own motivation? I say yes. Most High God say yes. But it's something about having other people motivate you or being inspired by things that other people do or the results thereof. I'm getting a conversation that I saw on Facebook. Yeah, see, Messenger. Somebody might be called to be a messenger, right? To bring their own gifts for harmony and balance. But we saw this like post on Facebook as one of my peeps actually posted it. And I saw a couple other things that kind of went along with the same message, the same thing. And this is a lot, geared towards the feminines, like the mothers, the divine feminine energies, or just women in general in terms of being motivated by family. And I was getting like the message of, oftentimes it's like this conversation of motherhood and it's like, wifeship and all of this stuff where the woman's whole focus on is just on family and raising the children and being supportive of the husband. Not saying that, that's not a thing, because if that's your motivation, then that's it. But I was getting the sense of unfulfillment. Right. A lot of times women pour in all of that energy out into family, raising children, and all of this stuff. And then there's an attachment or an enmeshment of, the lives of others and what they give to support them, where their accomplishments become that person's accomplishments. And what does that do when they feel like, all of the work that they poured into didn't yield the results that they think that it should? So that's the thing, right? Say, on the one hand, like the high spectrum, you put in all this energy, the kid, your family is great, is blossoming, everybody is accomplishing, goals and stuff like that. And then we kind of share in that happiness, right? But is that your own sole motivation? I feel like it's not, because at the end of the day, when the children go off and the emptiness sets in, it's like, thank you so much, beloved. I appreciate you. I do. Thank the Most High God for you. Yeah, so what happens when the children grow off and they have their own lives? Right now, you are separated from, them building and establishing their own family, and then what are you left with? It's almost like a space that still needs to be fulfilled, because it's like you being motivated by growing them. Now it's like the space for you to grow self and pour into you, right? And fulfill that portion of self for self. Your own divine purpose that's outside of just grooming family and children and being, a contributor in that, right? What about what happens if all the energy that you pour into the family and the children doesn't go the way that you think that it should? You could be an A1 parent, like always supportive, going above and beyond, doing everything that you think you should do. But if the child makes different decisions, right, how do you, take that onto self? Do you feel like, oh, it's my fault, I should have did something more, I should have did something differently, because it didn't yield the results that you think it should. So I'm really picking up on this energy of, people, or especially feminines, women, feeling a lack of fulfillment because, either things didn't turn out exactly the way that they think they should for the effort that you put out and the things that you put in, what you poured into them. Or the fact that even if it did, still having this space of unfulfillment because there was no energy poured into you specifically, like your space to reach your own specific individual purpose. Each one of us has a purpose on our own right. And for women, society can say that your main goal is to raise children, right? To just bear fruit, to put your energy into that, and grow people, citizens who are going to contribute and do all these great things. But is that your whole purpose? No, it's not. And when you are enmeshed into, other people, so, deeply integrated and connected, when they start to separate or pull away or go off their own way, how do you feel at the end of the day, right? Do you feel unfulfilled, like something undone? Do you feel lost, looking to find your way, or, what I mean, except going on your own journey to do things for self that are fulfilling onto you and not specifically anyone else. So that's what we are getting, right? That's the message of the day. Messenger here. Somebody could be a messenger, right? You could be going through empty nest syndrome, trying to figure out what's next, what's for me individually, specifically, now that that work is done. You could be in the middle of it, right? Feeling like you're pouring out all of this energy and maybe things are going well. Children or the family is looking the way that you feel like it's supposed to look, you know what I mean? Getting those results. Or maybe for some, it's not, right? You could be doing everything and child is still getting into stuff that they shouldn't be getting into, and you feeling like you spinning your wheels trying to figure out what do I do? Or even feeling like their behavior is a reflection onto you and you taking that on to self. So also furthering a feeling of unfulfillment and feeling unmotivated or just really unsure and confused, like racking your brain, like how do I get my hands around it? How do I control the outcome when it's so much in that that's outside of your control, beloved? See? We're getting share your song, frequency of sound, and diving deep. So I definitely pick up that somebody, we see all paths lead home, turn your gaze within. That's also a big part of this, right? Looking at self and you being motivated by you is something specific that you have come to do. Your own sense of joy, your own sense of happiness and fulfillment that's separate and segregated from others. I'm picking up, I'm really getting the energy of enmeshed and being enmeshment, where almost somebody doesn't feel the separate self, where like the boundaries and the lines are so blurred and so intermingled. It's like having lost self within everyone else. And if everybody else is either doing their own thing or starting to break apart, where does that leave me type of energy? So hopefully this is making sense to somebody, the person that it's supposed to resonate with. You know what I mean? Yeah, sis, I couldn't see all of it, but feel free. I be into the message, so I don't always see all the comments. But hopefully it makes sense to somebody and you can be motivated, internally, like your intrinsic motivators in that self-reference point, right? Throat chakra. See, it's definitely I'm getting messenger energy, like somebody has something to say, like it's something either put on you or in you, something specifically that you are called to do. And I'm getting speakership, share your song, bringing a messenger that brings harmony and balance. And then throat chakra here too. See, support self-expression in our sense of peace and balance, harmony and balance, peace and balance, self-expression, share your song. It's definitely definitely something with this. And I'm getting people who sit like in groups of support, or maybe that's where you're called to support others who feel like a sense of being lost, or like needing to find your own way, finding your own purpose that's separate from the different roles that women often play, whether it's motherhood, whether it's wifeship, and not, feeling like you're lost in the giving in those areas and forgetting about self, your own motivation. I'm picking up like the conversations that women and men are having now about, young women not jumping into marriage, like right away, just snapping, jumping into it, like without having first found your own purpose, like what it is that you're supposed to be doing as an individual. Like, what did you come to do? And it wasn't just simply to bear children or to be a wife. Like, you have a purpose on your own, something that you were assigned. And were you able to really find that and, get into it, like really be motivated and inspired to do your work before you came into union with others, before you started to have children and really have to dedicate all of your energy, pull back from your own personal journey to take on these other roles. And sometimes a lot of it's like a juggle, a struggle. I'm getting having to balance the scale with taking care of self, fulfilling your purpose, all while fulfilling these other roles. And for many women, the answer is no. It's like you lose self and you kind of fall back, or those dreams and motivations, your inspirations fall to the wayside while you're fulfilling these other obligations. Very important work to do, but is that the only thing that was called or placed on you? And I'm getting somebody is no. I'm getting that somebody has a message. I'm getting the track that you have taken is very inspirational, like something to share with others, whether it's young women, right, who are kind of coming, either I'm getting high school or like college type of, arena, like a certain demographic of girls that kind of talk to this type of energy, like this type of social construct, to kind of motivate them to find their purpose, to begin their work, or even just understand their work before they jump into committing themselves to others, whether it's children or whether it's husbands, right? And yeah. So I know it's kind of choppy, y'all. There's some ingredients, and we trying to work this energy out. But I'm definitely getting that. You know what I mean? Yeah. See, we see holy love is coming out, and I'm getting that over to the side, right? It's like not. I'm getting, like, to be frank, like a lot of girls, we are taught to, like, okay, you're supposed to marry and have children, and your life purpose is to, to act in that role, in that way. But it's a lot of women that end up feeling a sense of unfulfillment, like I didn't get a chance to do what I wanted to do, like I didn't get a chance to pursue this, or if I hadn't got married and had children so young, then I would have did that, I would have went here, I would have went there. But life, happens, and you kind of get into those roles early, and you get so entangled and so enmeshed in, what the husband is doing and what the children is doing, and that being a reflection of you, right? But what happens when it doesn't turn out the way that you think it should? Relationships fall apart. You done raised this kid to be a straight A scholar, but then they got into trouble and something happened. You know what I mean? Like, and then that becomes like you take that on to self, like almost a sense of responsibility or accountability for something that somebody else did, when that's just not it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like almost living life through the kid, through the children, through the husband. And does that make you feel fulfilled? And I'm even hearing resentment for someone. Like, does it leave a sense of resentment? Like, I put in all of this energy and it didn't turn out the way that it should have. Like, did I do something wrong? Should I have did something differently, kind of energy, right? Listen deeply. Yeah, I'm getting that whoever you are, taking these lessons and kind of understanding your own journey, everything that you went through, kind of diving deep into this arena, to this emotion, and kind of breaking it down, transmuting it, and then understanding that there's a message for you to share. There's a purpose in it, something for you to do with it. And it could be affecting or talking to younger females to kind of have them with a different type of understanding, perception, or insight before they jump into these types of heavy relationships and obligations. Have you found yourself? Have you found your purpose? Right? No, we see manifestation and spiritual growth. Right? I'm definitely picking up on spiritual growth. Yeah. See, I'm getting to grow spiritually to help you manifest your destiny, even the love that you're supposed to be in. Now, sometimes it happens where, you know what, the relationship, the marriage, and the family dynamic turns out to be what it is supposed to be. You find it early. But oftentimes, it's not that. We go through these karmic lessons in relationships so that we can develop. And sometimes it's heavy because you are carrying children along with you. We see broken homes and single mothers and stuff like that struggling because I'm getting, us having the ability to take the time to spiritually grow and mature ourselves. Again, finding that purpose, coming to balance, right? Being able to not only express yourself as a person, but understanding who you are, really being tapped in your confidence and your self-worth. Again, like, what are your gifts? What are you supposed to put out from an individual standpoint? Like, why did the Most High God send you here? Why did you come back on this journey, depending on how you believe about it, right? But it's like, do you know self? Right. Have you really taken the opportunity to understand self? Now, we know we did it, and like we became a mother young, beloved, and we've been through two marriages, right? Divorced twice. And a lot of it, the first one, I just did not understand who I was. It was like thinking that I'm doing what society says I'm supposed to do. I have children and we need a family and I need a husband and we're supposed to come together and supposed to do this together. But we actually end up growing apart as I wanted to continue to develop myself and, learn more, grow, earning capacity, spiritual growth, intelligence, emotional intelligence, all the things that I thought that I'm supposed to put into the family so that they can be great, we weren't on the same pace. So we grew apart, and a lot of the tenets that I wasn't able to recognize weren't there because I was underdeveloped. Second marriage, thought that we were good. You know what I mean? Like we had all these conversations and stuff like that, and we thought we were a match and the resonance was good. But this person had a very different mindset when it came to marriage. Like, this could trigger some people, but I believe that we are to be submitted unto the Most High God, beloved. It goes into another Facebook post that I saw in terms of wifeship and wifehood. Like, your husband is supposed to have the last word in everything. And so they asked the lady, she was like, yeah, I believe that. And they said, well, what if you're stronger in finances and he isn't? Is his last word, you still accept that? And she said, yes, because I, trust the God in him and I'm going to follow. And I'm thinking to myself, but if you are, because this was happening in my marriage, if you are the person that has the strength in that area, why would he not be able to lean on your guidance and your advice? What if he chooses to just go against what is the best thing to do? So do we follow somebody that will lead us down a pathway of error simply because society says so? Yeah, that's that past outdated thinking. You know what I mean? It's like if this person that you're supposed to be partnering with can accept your expertise in this area and you guys come to a consensus, a meeting of the mind and agree to move forward, then is that it, who's to say that they have the spiritual strength to do the right thing? Is that ego, beloved? Is that ego? And so I always get that in terms of just following and blindly being submitted onto another person. If you are leading me down a pathway that is not according to the Most High or for our highest good, I am not required to submit onto that and just do it because society says that I should. So marriage number two went down the toilet because I was not in that mindset, and we just couldn't get there, and we could not overcome it. So now, as I sit here and I reflect and I think about, coming into, more spiritual growth, being on this journey, doing things in this arena that I feel like is a part of my purpose, the Spirit has said is part of my purpose. What has that taught me in terms of, being enmeshed and entangled and obligated so early where I was not fully developed? And it kind of brought me these karmic lessons or these lessons, and now it's something to say for reaching that true, holy love, not only in just relationships but with self, because I'm getting this here, to love and accept yourself, right? Thank you, angels, for lovingly guiding me towards self acceptance. And that's huge right now for me, like major, because it's like thinking about the track, all of the tests that build the testimony, being a mother with adult children. And some, they're going to go their own way, they're going to do their own thing. But is that a representation of me? No. Right? We can give them every advice. We can guide them in the way that they should go and hope that, as they grow older, they will return to those principles. But sometimes, things turn out to be very, very different, where I can't take that on. Their successes are not just my successes. They're not. And even if it were, and everything turns out great on the other side of things, where does that leave me when they are doing their work and I'm still trying to find who I am and fulfill my own purpose? Because I just don't feel like that's it. It's a part of it, but it's not it. Healthy choices. I'm getting, thank you, angels, for guiding me to make healthy choices. And I'm thinking healthy choices for self, right? Not just, in terms of nutrition, fitness, but I'm getting all of it, like 360, beloved. Like, how do we fulfill self? By making the choices that are good for us, our highest good, and doing that first, right? How does that change the dynamic? I mean, it's definitely the conversation of the day, because a lot of women are choosing to either stay single longer, not get married. If you have been married, you may not be looking to get married again. You like, look, I'm good with me and my cat, and we good, beloved. You know what I mean? Like that type of mindset. Unconditional love is here. So I'm definitely getting unconditional love. Thank you to the Divine Mother. Go Alpha. Hey. Right? Thank you, Divine Mother, for helping me give and receive the love that I deserve. Giving spiritual health. Yes. Giving yourself the love that you deserve. Not just, because often, look, mothers do so much. You put out all of that energy and shit. Sometimes you barely get a phone call. These kids go off to college and they get into life and all of this stuff, and then you like, wait, well, where's the grandkids? Like, I gotta have something else to do, like to pour into, when maybe in this space it's time for you to study and learn self, right? For you to grow you. Take the opportunity to do the things that maybe you pushed off, or that you directed your focus in this arena, so you had to fall back. You know what I mean? All of your goals and aspirations. I would have did this. I could have did that. But I was doing this instead. Not to say that you regret it, but I'm just saying, it comes a point in time in life, in order for you to be fulfilled in your own self, you have to figure out what motivates you. What is your truth? What's in your heart? What was seated in place in you? Can you learn about it? Can you do it? Can you fill in the gap with unconditional love for self? And if somebody is single, you know what I mean, before you even get into it or you come out of it and you're looking to have a relationship again, I think this is pivotal. I mean, critical. I'm getting pivotal and critical, and they kind of mesh together because I'm picking up that enmeshment, that entanglement, to separate yourself from all those things. Learn about you. And really what motivates you, fulfills you, love on you unconditionally, and that real deal Holyfield love is going to come in. And I'm getting somebody that you will really resonate with, vibrate with, like you will be on the same page. Not no mismatch type of energy, but something that's going to come together fully. I'm talking about spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and yes, for others who need it, financially, right? So studying and learning is here. We see move your body. Move your body is here. Healthy choices. So somebody may be called to exercise a little bit more, get out, get into movement. Somebody could end up getting into fitness. We see spiritual abundance and a leap of faith. So somebody may end up doing something in terms of physical movement. You could be somebody who's, getting into the gym, and it could be, I'm getting that lady from I don't know if y'all seen her on TikTok. Like, she's over 50, so she's the over 50 crew, but she do the dances, you know what I mean? Like, she got this big old afro, and she do the, I think it's called more bounce to the ounce or something like that. She dancing to a roll bounce or something like that. But she's very inspirational in terms of like being fit in her prime, looking good. And it's like having this whole other life after having done, these obligations that maybe somebody got into really young and very early, right? Figuring out what's motivational and inspirational onto self and really doing it. Like, I'm getting what was poured into or put into you from when you came into this plane, and being able to express it after all the things that you put your focus on have kind of dwindled and gone away, to separate yourself from that enmeshment, that entanglement, and being able to focus solely on self. Not that you don't put energy into anybody else, y'all know what I mean, but I'm saying like making you the focus, like you are the star of your own story. And how do you share your own story? What is the message? What is the song you're supposed to put out? Activating your throat chakra. And I'm getting, even for somebody, a speakership onto young women specifically, to kind of talk them through this thing. Because again, girls are, it's a lot going on in the social dynamics in terms of relationship and what a wife is supposed to look like, and having children. How do you support self? How do you develop self? And all of these conversations. And I'm getting somebody that has a true voice to speak into this arena. And maybe that is your calling. And maybe you are just having a thing of like getting going. Either you're getting going or you're being called to get going, to express, to say something, and to speak to these children. But maybe it's like thoughts like, is it me? Am I supposed to say something? Is it enough about me going on? And I'm feeling some sense of anxiety. So I'm getting motivation, right? How do you motivate you in order to do what was placed in you? Not just, thinking about what you poured out into family and children and mothership or wifeship, but what was specifically designed for you, beloved. See, somebody is waiting. Wait until you feel like things are progressing effortlessly. Let the opportunities present themselves when the time is right. Don't force things. Have patience. So I'm definitely getting the energy of somebody waiting. So I feel like you're taking that advice, right? Like you haven't jumped out there. And if you have, it may have be like in very informal spaces. But I'm getting something bigger for somebody that is going to be, like, again, messages from the Divine Mother, from the Alpha energy, that, you know, you can birth and create anything, is limitless possibilities and potentiality. And to understand self and your purpose before you obligate yourself to such, you know, heavy things. No, those situations and relationships, whether it's marriage or having children, before you develop self, before you understand self, before you know who you are. And even coming to the point of, like, whether it's, you know, helping them, the young girls, love fully on themselves so that they don't get caught up in relationships like that. I was looking at another thing. It was like a snippet from divorce court. It was like this 44-year-old man married to an 18-year-old girl. And he trying to divorce her, talking about something. He got a thing with her immaturity. Well, you think she 18 and you 44? Like, why wouldn't you think she's gonna be immature? She's not developed. She barely just crossed the stage for high school. So obviously she's not developed. And then he talking about something where it was another. We were sending my daughter to prom, so therefore you got a daughter that's the same age as your wife, Ashe, and your wife is helping your daughter get ready for prom. And talking about the prom date was looking at your wife and she was flirting back because she's sitting on the floor playing with a baby. Now that don't make sense. But think about the insecurity that they would have. Yeah, why? Because other people in her peer group might be attracted to her. Like, you 45 years old, bruh. Like, why is it that you feel like your wife should be 24 or 25 years younger than you? That's like having another child. This young woman definitely is not mature. She's not spiritually, you know, she don't even know who she is. And you definitely got to have a thing with self-confidence if you married a 44-year-old man. She looking for a father, okay? That is not the... And being submissive onto that, she don't know what her purpose is. This man could be leading her on the road, the highway to hell, and somebody done told her she just supposed to stick and stay. Well, yeah, because he a provider. Providing what, Ashe? 44 to 18. I was sickened. Anywho, y'all. I'm getting somebody that got, you know, that's going to work in that arena. You want both of these? This one, too. Yeah. Talk to these young girls so that they don't get caught up in shit like that. Secret Superstar, I'm really not for sure what you're saying, but this is a general collective reading. We are not doing free readings over here, okay? My girl Life Mantra Tarot, she does run promos, so if you need a reading, you can tap her for a donation-based reading, and she can look into that for you. Trust is to be able to trust what you cannot yet see with your eyes. Use your imagination, create your dreams in your mind, and they will become clearer for you to see. So I'm getting someone who, you know, trying to figure out, you know, they self. What are their own dreams? What are their own aspirations? What are their own motivations? Right? And an ability to trust what you can't see with your own eyes, but I'm getting third eye, your imagination. Like, even touching back with your younger self. Like, what did you aspire to be when you were young? Before you got into all the obligatory relationships, whether it's wifeship, whether it's motherhood, you know, as a young woman or a young person, even a masculine, because this could work for males too, right? How did you see you? Did you see yourself off in New York or California or wherever, you know what I mean, traveling the world and doing some things? Did you see yourself working as a mentor, as a coach, being a speaker? Did you see yourself being, you know, some sort of fitness guru because you secretly just love to work out and that's fulfilling onto you? Yeah. I don't know what to say, beloved, but it's definitely an energetic exchange and for readings, right? So she does, Michelle at Life Mantra Tarot, she does do yes and no questions for free, and she does donation readings for deeper reads. So feel free to subscribe to her and hit the notification bell, and you can see when she goes live, and maybe there's an opportunity for you to get your questions answered there. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely getting, for this specific reading, to tap back into like your younger self, right? If they're a spammer, sis, if you could just go ahead and block them. Hopefully, I think I made you a moderator, so if I didn't, I can try and stop and do that. But I'm getting imagination, right? Creating your dreams in your own mind. Like, who did you see yourself being? Like, what did you see yourself doing? And do you feel like in this day it's still opportunity for you to do it? I would say yes. Right, especially if it's your calling. Like it was decreed over you to do this thing. I'm getting that the opportunities that you need, the resources will represent themselves to you. Now I'll say this. We have always been a person that was interested in like media, social media, but back in the day, not only were we busy, we were in college, we were married, we had kids, and we definitely lacked confidence. Right? So we have been tapped to do blogs and stuff like that, vlogs and whatever back in the day when MySpace days, and we didn't do it. We definitely didn't do it. We fell back and we put our energy, of course, into the kiddos, into the marriage, building up self like education, right? So now in this day and age, kiddos are pretty much grown. We got one 16-year-old that we are working diligently to get across that finish line. And education, we got the degrees on the wall. We're into work. Everything is pretty stable. Told y'all what happened to the two marriages, so we ain't got to go down that road again. But we were called back to media. And lo and behold, everything that we have been through, really now I'm getting culmination of experiences we have to share. And the opportunity to be in media, to give messages, to share our song, to be a messenger, had represented itself. Not only did it represent itself, but the way that we have been developed through all those trials in the tests, the karmic lessons that we experienced, really built up the platform for us to deliver. So that's why we are a person that reads from everything, whether it's the news, whether it is text, and we are a student of theology, so we have built up a library. And all of these things, whether it's theology, whether it's self-help, whether it's quantum physics, whether it's deep healing, whether it's overthinking, the new books that we're buying, right? Everything that we have gone through, I'm getting as a soul in a body, has really supported us in doing the work that we were called to do. And because that is a calling, it's deeply fulfilling for us to do it. But every resource that's required has now been represented. It was almost like being delayed but not denied. Once we got into the mental space that we were going to focus on self, growing ourselves 360, everything, every spiritual tool and resource started to come into thee. Now, this is the most fulfilling part of the day. When I say I would rather do this than anything else on the planet, beloved. Like, if I could go around the world and sit in an area and pull in the energy from that environment and message from everywhere, beloved, that is exactly what we would do. And that's what we work on manifesting, right? Spiritual growth to manifestation. We are manifesting the ability to message from anywhere around the world. Just like the theology, reading on various different cultures and how the Most High God connects to them. I want to sit in their energy, in that like soak it all up, that frequency, that resonance, and put out the messages that they give. Whether it is, indigenous places, definitely have an affinity for that, right? Just any and everywhere in the kingdom. And I'm feeling like something for somebody, I am getting some indigenous roots here, spirit animal energy. And I'm definitely picking up on the hawk. I don't know if this is a hawk. I don't think it's an eagle. I think the eagle beak is bigger, but hawk is here. So it's definitely giving me, something of the high, like flying high, being able to see things from a bigger perspective, a broader perspective. And I'm getting being able to eat, because it's like they go for it, they attack it, they pick this shit up and then they eat it. So I don't know if you're gonna be again. Spirit is giving me something different. I'm getting spiritual warrior for somebody. It's definitely giving me spiritual warrior. So you may be, again, called to attack certain types of mindsets, outdated thinking, that way that people kind of set their purpose to the side to fulfill some sort of societal norm, when we should be getting back to the mindset of fulfilling your purpose and your destiny and allow things to come together naturally. And maybe you're going to devour that type of principality is what I'm getting. Yeah. Trust the process. Trust the process. I'm getting trust the process. Everything is as it should be. Even though it might seem that everything is going wrong, live life with an open heart. Don't resist, but thank each experience that guides you on your way. The road might be bumpy, but don't give up and don't lose faith. And that's funny because it says don't lose faith, and we say take the leap of faith. You can't take the leap of faith if you lost faith. So don't give up and don't lose faith. So I'm definitely picking up, that bumpy road, kind of like what we talked about for self. Like we went through all of these things and it was bumpy and we learned some lessons, right? We had taken on some karmatic debt, and I feel like now we've paid it. And now the way is really being paid. Like that was a part of the process that we do that as well, because everything that we learn, we're building blocks for the pedestal. And I'm getting that for somebody, like you have a story to share, and for somebody they definitely will help young people. I'm getting high schoolers into college type of arena. Yes, base chakra. We see choose only positive thoughts to describe your home, career, finances, as your words determine your outcome. Something about manifestation. So make sure that you're speaking about things in a positive light. Even if the positive light means like, this is what I learned from these experiences. Like it's always, being able to take it and reframe it for the good. I'm getting that deck. Yeah. Taking it and reframing it for the good. So hopefully this is making sense to somebody. I'm getting this kind of like a okay, it is. They say challenge. So somebody may be describing, some of those things as, not so positive, or having a challenge with expressing it in a way that it displays that everything works towards the good, beloved. This one. And then that's it. So we're going to grab something from this deck. I think it's a divine guidance deck, right? And see what they have to say. So definitely put base chakra in the upright by being secure, right? Security. That you are secure in this 3D plane no matter what is happening, right? In all of your experiences, I think, is developing a testimony for somebody to speak to younger people in terms of self-development before they become entangled and enmeshed. And also, like from a perspective of enmeshment, it's not healthy to be enmeshed. That's a maladaptive behavior. It's because, either a need to control or a helicopter. And I'm definitely getting control and outcome, right? Like if I helicopter, if I control this, situation, and I'm so entangled and enmeshed in what they're doing, then you can control the outcome and how, because it has a reflection on self. Spirit is saying, no, each of us are on our own journey and in our own way, right? We could put all of that energy in them and they're still going to go their own way. They're still going to go on their own journey. And you can only, hold faith in loving space that what you have put in them, the principles that you have taught, these characteristics, that they will return to it and express it. But it will only be when they are ready, when life or karma has taught them the lessons they need to actually employ it. I don't think we do them any benefit by trying to control every choice and every decision. It's like giving them the autonomy to be their own person. And in order to do that, we have to pull back on entanglement and enmeshment. You also are doing a disservice to self because you lose yourself in them, in the relationship. And so when those relationships dynamics change, then you could feel lost. Like, what am I supposed to do now? Oh, now it's ready for the grandkids or something else for you to enmesh or entangle with. But could you pull back and revisit self? Dig into your own hearts, desires, your imagination. What about you that didn't get developed before you kind of obligated your whole self to this work? And I'm getting somebody will speak on that with others, having gone through the process and learning lessons. Yeah, see, letting go. Can you pull back and let go? Everything is indeed out of control, and God will hold it all. I can safely let go. Can safely let go. Right? And that's what we were feeling, like that helicoptery, like enmeshment, completely entangled type of mindset. But I'm getting it's because somebody was taught that, right? Society says that your purpose is to be a mother, is to be a wife, and to be like lose yourself in that role. When I'm getting no. You definitely have a huge major role to play, but each of them in their own way. They have their own journey, Ashe. And to teach them autonomy and decision making for self. This one. Which one? This. Yeah. Right action. And I'm teaching them autonomy. It helps them make the right actions, make the right decisions, or understand that the decisions and the actions that they take, they will learn their own lessons. And it's not just a reflection on you. It doesn't define your success, and it doesn't define your failures. It says, I don't know how to say this word, graha, apigraha. Literally means let everything that wants to go, go, and everything that wants to come, come. And that supports letting go, like being open, right? So if relationships are changing, the dynamics, no. Change equals yes. So Spirit is saying relationships are changing and you are being called to change as well, to reflect back on self. What are your own intrinsic motivators, right? How do you get back in touch with you so that you can motivate you? Not being inspired by the things that you do for others, but what do you do for self? Worth. And we talked about this. Worth, right? I'm getting somebody that will speak to young people not only about their own self-worth, but as you discover it for you, your own standing, worthy all on your own, being inspired by you, touching base with your own dreams and inspirations and motivations. You definitely are worthy and able to do it. All of your tools, spiritual tools and resources will come in to support it. And it doesn't matter where you're at. I'm feeling like you're in the right position, the prime position to do it, especially if you were called to this message. And I'm getting that somebody has a message to bring. You are a speaker. You are a messenger. We have throat chakra down here. We have messenger down here. We have sharing your song down here. So that's definitely 3 cards saying that somebody will speak, and I'm getting to young people about this dynamic, about growing self, understanding you, understanding your worth, understanding what you are called to do before you get entangled and enmeshed in other relationships and lose self, beloved. So doing it differently, right? Oh shit, that was a lot. We see gratitude is here. That turned up. Yeah, get these. Do you want anything else here? We see gratitude. May fill me with gratitude for all you give. May I be a vehicle for wherever I go. See, a vehicle for wherever I go. And we definitely said that we wanted to go somewhere and be a vehicle, a vessel unto the Most High God to bring messages wherever we go. We're going to take that for self. Gratitude, right? And having gratitude for everything that we've been through, for everything that the Most High God has given us, every lesson, right? Every situation, every building block that builds the pedestal, the ability to influence. And even if it's just to get people to think about things differently, like to consider it, that's definitely what it is. I feel like we are called to do, beloved, is to think about it. Like, it's all for conversation, it's all for learning. That's what life is, this journey. We are learning. You are limitless. You are limitless. Right? It's so many things that you can do, and you can still do it now, beloved. If you are called to do it, that was your calling, that is your decree. Everything that you need to do it still belongs onto thee. It does. Oftentimes, it just takes us to make up our mind to decide to do it so that we can manifest those opportunities coming into that space spiritually, mentally, emotionally, into alignment, knowing that what is for you can still be. Every imagination that you have for itself. I would travel here. I would go there. I would do this thing, right? It is that mindset. If I hadn't got married, if I hadn't had children, and I'm not saying that anybody's track is wrong, but as people, we have those thoughts of personal fulfillment. What motivates you specifically, beloved, outside of husband, outside of children, outside of wife, right? What is it for you to do? Why did you come? And you are limitless, and the opportunity to do it still exists. See yourself open to receive in the most miraculous ways. See yourself open to receive. And y'all see this card, y'all can see it in the camera view. And we already said it, ask and receive. See yourself, and see, cutting the cords is here. So for somebody, it could be apron strings. It could be like still holding on, being so enmeshed and entangled, because feeling like their life, their success, their failures are, you take that onto self, like I'm successful because they are successful. Or maybe I didn't do something right because things didn't go the way that I expected it in their life. And that could be a whole thing. Taking responsibility for their choices, being enmeshed and entangled. See yourself open to receive in the most miraculous ways. The divine can use anything and anyone. Yes, and I'm getting that divine will use you. Somebody is a messenger to speak to these types of things. To do, again, for somebody, you're called to speak to children, to young people, and not just children. 18 years old, I think that those are children. They're young adults, right? And society is telling them so many things, like social media is so influential. And they get their hands on all these sound bites, right? But to have people who have lived experience, true stories and testimonies to tell, and who could do that in a way that's coaching, that's nourishing, that's uplifting, to give them that guidance while they're so young so they don't get trapped and pulled into these situations. Marrying 18 years old and you're married to a 45-year-old man, that's like a father, basically. That's predatory. That's not a balanced or equally yoked relationship. She doesn't even know who she is yet. right? So how do I'm getting somebody who will speak to that, and everything that you need, I'm feeling like it's going to be provided, like it's still on reserve for thee. But maybe you went through it, what you went through, so that you could speak to it from a heart space with compassion and understanding, right? You were born to align with love's will. Follow the Tao and serve something beyond the ego. Learn to be abundant and not chase it. I'm getting understanding that you are limitless. That everything that you need to fulfill your true calling, your true motivation is already built within self. Like you have been acquiring these tools and these skills over time, and somebody is primed to use it. If you were called to this message, I believe that the Most High God is poking you, is tapping you, saying, I'm ready for you, and you are ready for you. You are ready to do what motivates and inspires you. Tap into your inner power. I was going to say courage, and behind that is courage. The courage to do it. And maybe that was a part of things like developing, because we said that for self, right? Call to social media years ago, MySpace, right? And what were we doing? We were recycling news, stories that people had no longer paid attention to, things that had lost their interest because the news moves so fast like this, beloved. And the things that are important tend to get lost and people lose focus. So we wanted to do something like that. Like my girl Michelle would say, we go down the rabbit hole. We talk about things and we want to, bring light to those principles. And now, lo and behold, we're in a space to do it when we have the courage and the inner power, the willpower, and the confidence to do it. So if it's in you and it's your purpose, it motivates you, it inspires you, it is going to be space and resources to support you. The only thing that has to get ready is you. Inner power. Give me the courage and the power to do what must be done. And look, behind that is faith. And the Spirit already said, do not lose faith. Right? Is that it? I have to find that specific card because it say don't lose faith. And we already saw take a leap of faith. Right? But don't lose faith. Take a leap of faith. What was up underneath inner power, which actually says, give me the courage. And as soon as we said, ask and receive, right? Ask and receive. As soon as we pulled these cards, give me the courage. What was given? Courage. It was right there already. Let me be open to courageously taking the steps that's shown, taking the steps that are going to be shown to you. Have faith. Ooh. You want this one too? Have faith. See, miraculously, amazingly, everything I need always comes. Love is opening me to receive beyond anything I imagine. This divine abundance, you can receive it, right? The limitless opportunities is what I'm getting. Again, love is opening me to receive beyond anything I imagine. You ask, what you receive, beloved, is going to be beyond anything that you can imagine. It always exceeds the needs, always. Every person has their own personalized study plan, and we saw that. Did we? I think we put it. I hope we didn't shuffle it. We might have. But it definitely was the study and learn card. We could have shuffled it. We may have. But if you were here from the beginning, you saw it, right? It definitely had the stack of books and it said study and learn. But every person has their own personalized study plan in this earth school. We are here to learn. And somebody is here to teach too. I'm getting learner and teacher, right? Each one teach one. And you will do it as you continue to grow self. Having learned these lessons, you will share it with somebody else. And I'm getting, at that point, you will have gratitude. Because, see, some of these young children who need this type of guidance will listen to you where they won't listen to their parents. Right. So, and unfortunately, that's what it is. We all know that. Like, I've been saying that shit for years, and now they want to, that now you say it and now they hear it. Yeah, because they saying it in a different way. Like, they're open to it. It is not, attached to, like, that's what mom said or that's what dad said. No, they can hear it differently. And I'm getting somebody's experience is definitely getting throat chakra. You will speak to it. We definitely saw, Spirit is calling me to show this again. Divine abundance and spiritual abundance. These two energies together. Right? I'm getting, thank you, angels, for blessing me with infinite abundance. And we already saw limitless. I'm getting that somebody has a calling to speak to young people, to be a motivator and inspiring person in their life to help them make decisions in some sort of way, even find their own purpose before they kind of lose their way or obligate themselves to other things, right? And whatever resources that you need are already there. I'm hearing held in reserve. Like they're there. They're held in reserve for you. And it's only about you deciding to do what truly motivates you. I hope that makes sense, and hopefully the person that needs this message will resonate with it. I see some likes here, go with the flow, right? So I'm hoping that you guys got it and that these ingredients came together, beloved, to make a meal that's edifying onto your soul. So if you are in that place where you feel like, again, that entanglement or that enmeshment or the change in relationships have left you feeling unfulfilled, having given yourself to so many other people, the Most High God said in this day, start to study and learn you, beloved, what motivates you, because there's something in you, something that you will look back and remember from childhood, from your younger days, that maybe you didn't put in the focus. It went to other places, but today is the day. Wow, you literally sitting on your bedroom floor packing. Wow, yeah, look, freedom. Moving forward. And we see karma. There's nothing from a past life that cannot be addressed in the current life. So somebody may have had multiple lives in this life. Like, that was a life. Yeah, my first marriage or young adulthood was a life. First marriage was a life. Second kid was a life. Second marriage was a life. And everything that, happened in those lives are being addressed in this current life. The spiritual growth, the emotional intelligence, the, changing of mindsets, the focusing on self, on the calling. And how do we speak about that in a way that helps others who are still going through those same dynamics, battling with those principles? Because that's what we battle with anyway, right? It's principalities. So if we can lend our voice, share our song and our testimony, deliver the news in a different way for the things that nobody is focusing on, hopefully it will clear up some shit. Clearing the way for this divine abundance, clearing karmatic debt so that this abundance can come in, beloved, so that we can help other people clear up their shit too. To the next now, y'all. I love you. I do. I love you so, so, so much. Never discount you. Dig in today. Think about it. What motivates you? To the next now. This is your girl Lati here at Terrace and Terrell Show, where you sure enough never know what you're going to get. You just never know, beloved. You never know. It's like a different Terrell Show. And we were designed to be. Because the Most High God, the Alpha and the Omega, they called it like that. They said it should be. For we are the infinite intelligence breathing. Because the word lives in this day, beloved. And don't let anybody tell you anything different. To the next now. This one's done. Ashe. Oh. Smile today.